Welcome to the Mind Vault. If you've ever wondered why you do what you do, this channel is for you. We unlock the psychology behind your patterns, habits, and thoughts.
Okay, so let's just dive right into this. We're going to explore an idea today that, well, it pretty much goes against everything we're told about life hacks and shortcuts. You know, this idea that the hard parts of life, the struggle, the effort, the stuff we try so hard to avoid, might actually be the most valuable parts of all.
I mean, really think about that for a second. The hero just gets the prize. No effort, no journey, no nothing. Does that story feel satisfying to you? Is that a story you'd even remember? Or does it just feel kind of hollow, like there's a huge piece of it just missing?
Yeah. If you felt any of those things, you're on the right track. It's unsatisfying because a story without a struggle isn't really a story. It's just a transaction. And there's no growth in a transaction.
And this quote, it just nails it. This is the profound truth we're going to unpack here. The same exact rule that makes a story good also makes a life good. It's not really about what you get in the end. It's about who you have to become to get it.
So let's start with this core idea of unearned treasure and why it can be so unbelievably destructive. To do that, we're going to look at a parable that's thousands of years old, but you'll see it's more relevant than ever.
So look at this contrast, right? You've got the eldest son who did everything right, but he's resentful. He feels completely unrewarded. But the whole point of the story, the big celebration, is for the younger son. Why? Why celebrate the guy who blew it all? Because he was lost and now he's found. He went through the fire of suffering and came back transformed. He literally had to lose himself to find himself.
And here it is. This is the crucial point. The journey of earning the reward is what makes you ready to actually have it. It builds the character, the wisdom, the grit to handle the treasure. Without that transformation, that treasure, whether it's money, fame, whatever, it becomes a curse. It's a weight that will eventually crush you.
But here's the problem we're all facing. Our modern world is practically built on the promise of treasure without the journey. We are just bombarded day in and day out with temptations for easy wins. Let's look at 3 really powerful ways this seduction plays out in our lives.
First up, we've got the promise of instant creativity. All these new technologies are designed to make the creative process faster, easier, more efficient. But in doing so, they strip out the one thing that gives it meaning, the struggle.
The musician and writer Nick Cave put this so passionately. He argues that when we use AI to just fast-track creation, we're turning imagination into a machine. It makes our own human spark feel worthless, like it's just an inconvenience to be bypassed. He's saying this isn't just about a shortcut. It's an attack on the soul of what it means to be a creator.
Next, you've got the promise of instant connection, instant gratification. But it's a version of intimacy that, according to some deep thinkers, is completely warping our ability to form real, lasting, meaningful bonds with other people.
Biologist Brett Weinstein explains how this works. He says easily accessible porn basically wrecks the natural built-in incentives for partnering up. It takes what should be this private, slow, bonding discovery between 2 people and just floods the brain with a constant stream of extreme novel content. Your mind gets conditioned to want something a real relationship can never provide, and it basically erodes the psychological wiring needed for real intimacy. It's unearned gratification that leaves you totally hollow.
And finally, there's the one we all know, the one in our pockets. The constant lure of easy, empty rewards baked right into our technology, designed to keep us hooked on a loop that never really satisfies.
As Simon Sinek explains it, the little hit of dopamine we get from a like or a notification, it's the same chemical that's involved in alcohol, nicotine, and gambling. His point is that we now have 24/7 unfettered access to an addictive chemical, especially when we're young and stressed. It teaches us to reach for a quick, temporary fix instead of building the real skills and deep relationships we need for actual long-term fulfillment.
So, what happens when we consistently choose the easy way out? When we take all these shortcuts to dodge the struggle? Well, the cost is way, way higher than we think. It's not just that we miss out on something good. We're actively damaging our own potential.
Now this is just wild. This chart completely flips common sense on its head. It comes from a famous study that Dr. Andrew Huberman often talks about. They took a group of kids
gave him some problems. They praised one group for being smart, an innate, unearned thing. They praised another group for trying hard, for the struggle. Later, on harder tasks, the smart kids, their performance tanked, significantly. But the kids praised for their effort, their performance shot up. Praising the struggle built resilience. Praising the unearned gift made them fragile.
And this leads to what the writer Mark Manson calls the process avoidance trap. And we all do this, right? We fall in love with the result. We picture ourselves on the stage, the successful entrepreneur, the super fit athlete. We love that image. But we have zero love for the actual process, the thousands of hours of boring practice, the failures, the grind. And since the process is like 99% of the whole deal, if you don't love it, you're guaranteed to quit.
And this chase for the quick fix, it has very real and very physical consequences. According to a recent survey, a staggering 96% of men who go to the gym said they were dissatisfied with their bodies. That widespread unhappiness is a huge driver for looking for a short.
And this desire has a real cost. The rise in steroid use is a perfect physical metaphor for this whole idea. The goal is just the aesthetic, the quick fix to look strong. But as doctors have explained, this shortcut completely bypasses the foundational work. Your muscles grow way too fast for your tendons and ligaments to keep up, which ironically makes your body weaker and way more likely to suffer a serious injury. You're prioritizing the appearance of strength over the reality of it.
So, if all these shortcuts are just traps, what's the alternative? Well, the answer lies in one of the most powerful stories ever written about this exact idea. Paulo Coelho's incredible novel, The Alchemist. And its secret reveals what the real prize is.
I mean, think about this journey for a second. The shepherd boy, Santiago, has a dream about treasure in Egypt. He travels thousands of miles. He suffers. He loses everything more than once. He learns these profound lessons, only to find out the actual gold was buried right back where he started. So why? Why on earth would he have to go on this massive, life-threatening quest just to end up back at square one?
Because it was never, ever about the gold. The journey was about becoming the person who was worthy of the treasure. He had to be tested and broken and remade. The boy who left home was just a kid. The man who came back was wise. He was resilient. He understood the world. He had to earn the wisdom to even recognize the treasure. The journey was the reward.
So all of this leads us to a really profound and, I think, empowering shift in how we look at our lives. If the struggle is what creates all the value, then the goal isn't to avoid hardship. The goal is to choose your struggle wisely, to find a struggle that's worthy of you.
Mark Manson suggests that this is the most important question you can possibly ask yourself. Forget what you want to enjoy. Everybody wants the same stuff: happiness, love, money. The far more interesting question, the one that will actually define your life, is this: what pain are you willing to sustain?
Because your success isn't determined by your desires. It's determined by what problems you are willing to solve. The quality of your life isn't about how good your good times are. It's about the quality of the negative experiences you are willing to go through to get to the good times. Loving the climb is the only thing that gets you to the top of the mountain.
Ultimately, the struggle isn't some burden we have to avoid. It's our own unique path to becoming who we're meant to be. The obstacles in your way aren't blocking the path. The obstacles are the path. And embracing that, with all its challenges, is how you find the only treasure that really matters: a life of meaning, resilience, and true fulfillment.
If this opened your eyes, imagine what else is hiding in your mind. Don't forget to subscribe for weekly episodes that decode your brain, one pattern at a time. And if something clicked today, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Until next time, stay curious.